it's rock bottom cheap, €1.50 to get from Split Airport to Split. I mean, it's really unbeatable. So in front of us, you basically now see the really center of Split, the Riva, or the main promenade. In today's video, basically I'm going to show you how to travel from Split Airport to Split City Center. I'm going to explain you about all the transportation options. You have several of them coming from the airport, depending if you're an individual or multiple people traveling. And then basically we would start in front of the arrival area and basically walk you through the different exits and what kind of transport you have if you go in the different direction from the exit area inside the airport. So basically follow us around, learn how you can get a ticket from Split Airport to Split for €1.50, rock bottom cheap, but it is actually possible, and I'm gonna explain you how you can get that ticket in this video. And basically here you see in front of me is the arrival, so I'm just gonna explain. Goal with today's video is basically to show you what happens when you arrive. So you will come out of the door I just showed you, and here where I'm standing now, you would have, if you ordered a transfer, you would have a lot of people or drivers standing with their signs with names of people who ordered a transfer. So the first thing we're going to show you is basically where you find rent a car. So we're going to walk this way. And as you see, maybe you see the signs up here, it also says bus. With bus here in this case, it means touristic buses. So if you're a group traveling and stuff, we're gonna go down on a big parking lot where these buses would be parked down there. This is not the airport shuttle, that one I will show you later. And as you see here in front of me, there's actually an elevator. If you have lots of stuff to carry or for some other reason don't want to go down this one, I'm going down now. And probably it's not visible, but all along the right side of me down on the ground level here is full with all the rental car offices. You also see in front of us, we are coming down slowly, there's 6 in front. So you have maybe 15 different car rental companies. So if you rented a car, this is basically the place you're gonna go to pick up your key and eventually your car. And as you see here, we have a huge parking. There's a coffee bar on my right side. And basically, if you would take a transfer, the transfer driver would have parked his car somewhere down here, and he will take you down here to the car and basically, from here continue to wherever you're going. So this is basically how it looks. And the buses I mentioned, you see these yellow black striped things here. That's the parking place where you'd have all the touristic buses. So for groups being picked up from traveling with different travel agencies and stuff, they would be parked down here at this parking lot. But again, just to mention, don't confuse it with the airport shuttle. That one I'm going to show you a bit later. So I think that's basically it for this part. Let's head back up. So for you to get a feeling, we're going to go back to the same starting point, pretending, we came out from the gate again. Of course we didn't, but just so that you are in the loop with how we actually navigate here at the airport. And as you see here, for some reason there's a sign to the taxis and the shuttle bus. I don't know why you would need them if you came from down there, because the area, when you come this way, is mainly because you want to, fly somewhere from the airport, not going back to Split. So now you see we have the arrivals here. So if you need to pick someone up in the airport, this is basically where you'll stand and wait for them. Anyway, let's start again. So, as I said, you see above me here is a sign saying taxi, shuttle and fast ferry, and we are basically now going to walk in that direction. And you see also here above the door, taxi, shuttle, but fast ferry. So this is the exit you're going to take if that's where you're going. But actually what I'm going to show you now is an option which is not on any of the signs in the airport, but it's by far the cheapest way of leaving the airport. So when you go out to this direction over here, you have the taxis, and the shuttle would be down in front. I don't know if you see the yellow shuttle sign down there, but nevertheless we're going to go down this way at the end when we're going to take the actual shuttle. Now we're going to go this way. If you see here in front of me, there's a sign saying public bus line number 37, and this is what I'm going to show you now. So you come out of the airport and you would walk this way. So you simply follow the walking path here. I don't know, it's probably not visible on the camera. To the right of me is a bridge pillar, and on that one it also points where you get line number 37, public bus number 37. So it should be very easy to follow. Some nice drivers like this guy here who would actually stop. Oh, thank you. This one stopped, but a little bit more chaotic way. And then you walk over here and you see there's a bus stop in front of us. And you see there's two taxis here. That's actually Ubers. So the story is basically here. If you order a Visi, Bolt and Uber, which is the rideshare things we have available in Split, and you book one of them, the place they will pick you up would most probably be here at this bus stop. But more importantly, what I wanted to tell you is with the city bus. I'm going to show you now in the app. The city bus company in Split is called Promet Split, and they have an app. So this is basically how the app looks, and basically you have an e-wallet here, which means you can add some money. Let's say add 10 euro to this one, and then you have the functionality down here, buy a ticket. And when you go to buy a ticket, you say single daily, or if you need to get to Split, just pick single ticket, and basically then you select the area. And the area we are in now at the airport is called Kastellar. And if you would now click buy, you would buy one ticket where you can travel a little bit around here in Kastellar. But of course you don't want to do that. You want to add a destination. So you select here where you want to go, and you want to go to Split. So you see here, I told you I'm going to show the cheapest way getting to Split. €1.5 for a ticket to go to Split. You get a ticket, you need to open the ticket. The ticket is going to be a QR code. And once you get on the bus, there's a validation machine. So you pull out the ticket, show the QR code, and then basically it's scanned, and then basically your ticket is valid, and the particular ticket from Kastellar to Split is valid for 90 minutes. So even if you have to, go some destination at the end where you would need to change bus, it's basically what matters is the 90 minutes. So you have several options. You can also use the city bus if you're going to anywhere in Kastellar and staying there in a holiday apartment. So as I promised you in the video, I'm going to show you the cheapest way. So it's rock bottom cheap, €1.5 to get from Split Airport to Split. I mean, it's really unbeatable. And you have several lines. You saw down when we walked down here. It's at bus number 37, which is the most frequent one on weekdays. It runs every 20 minutes. In the weekend, a little bit less often, maybe every half an hour or something like that. But additionally, you have route number 38 and you have route number 2. And I'm going to add in the video a map so you can see which routes they're driving and also where they're going to end in Split. Because depending on where your accommodation is in Split, it might be better to take the one or the other because they don't enter Split at the same place. Anyway, all three of them are going to be relatively close to the center in Split. Drawback about the buses is that they are regular city buses, so I will add some footage from me driving with the city bus. So if you come with a 25 kilo suitcase, there's no luggage storage on it. So think about it, these buses are really full, they're used by the locals. and they are meant for transporting people, not for transporting luggage. So, you know, it's a little bit tricky. If you just have a carry-on like me here today, you can easily take this bus and go to Split for €1.50. If you have a lot of luggage, take the shuttle like we're going to do today. That would be a more suitable option. Go to the website. There will be a complete text describing exactly how this works, what you need to do, download, so that it's going to be super easy for you to figure out these things. You will see the prices, you will see all the services I'm mentioning here in the video, the options you have for traveling from Split Airport to Split. And I will also add some information how you get to places nearby if you're going to Trogir and these kind of things. Here you see the bus is coming, 37 from Trogir Airport, from Trogir the airport, and then continue to Split. We're not going to jump on this one today, but we recorded some footage so we can also show you how it is to take this bus. Today we're going to basically travel with the real airport shuttle from the airport to Split. What you need to do is to get this really cheap ticket, €1.50 to Split, is you need to download the app of Fromit, because the tickets in the app are half price. You can of course also just buy it from the driver, then it would be €3 to get to Split if you're going with a city bus. But the app is also useful if you travel around in Split. Our shuttle is still not here, so we'll have to wait a bit. So basically we are now going to go and take the shuttle, but before we go down to that one, I just wanted to mention one thing. Actually, there's a small port around 1 kilometer from the airport, so you could basically walk down to this one. What is possible if you are not on a budget and you're going to places like Vartown or Bol, you can actually order a boat transfer, and then basically you would have to go down to the port, or you can maybe even arrange that they would pick you up here with a van, take you down there, and then you go on a really fast boat, which would take you out to Var, Bol, or wherever you want to go on the island. But it's not that budget friendly, so you just need to know that. Anyway, let's go down to our shuttle. So basically the last part we have over here, you will see that in front. You have the sign. Basically the regular taxis, the traditional taxis, old school taxis are basically driving from over here. And you have these yellow plates up here giving you basically an indication of the price for going in different places. So if you prefer a taxi, that's an option. But if you want to do the shuttle like us, it's down here. So the shuttle bus is here. As you can see, it's a small van today. Normally it would be a regular big bus, but simply because we are out of the season, they use smaller vans. Of course, there's no reason to use all the extra fuel running with a huge vehicle if you have a limited number of passengers. So, I mean, that's why they do it with the smaller ones. Then let's go. Hvor er du egentlig? Hvor er du? Ja, der. Ja, det liksom. So we're gonna shoot a bit footage on the way so you get an idea, you know, of how it looks driving from Split Airport to Split. So the driving time with the airport shuttle, regardless of this being a smaller bus like the one we are in today, or the bigger buses, is about 30 minutes to get to the bus station in Split, which is absolutely in the center, just next to the ferry port. So the shuttle is a perfect choice, especially if you are continuing with the bus to another destination in Croatia, or if you need to go to the islands like Hvar, Bol, or any of the other popular places on the islands, you know, taking the airport shuttle is perfect because you are landing at the bus station, which is next to the train station and the ferry port. So absolutely top pick in that case. As you saw before, we paid the ticket with a credit card, which is also very convenient. A new thing they have now, and the ticket price is €8, so really reasonable to get to the city in a relatively fast time, because basically it goes direct. There's no stops on the way. It's just from airport directly to the bus terminal. And the city buses I explained about earlier on, they of course, when they drive from the airport towards Split, they have a lot of stops on the way. I think regardless of which of the three lines, bus lines I mentioned earlier you take, they have somewhere between 25 and 30 bus stops between Split Airport and Split. So the driving time with those is way longer than taking the airport shuttle here. The fast road to Split, 2 lanes, so really no problem getting there. Maybe I can tell you a funny story that when I moved to Split around 20 years ago, there was no fast road. There was just 1 lane in each direction between Split and the airport, and I mean, at that time there was also not that many planes flying to Split. So occasionally when I had to take a plane to go somewhere, and you basically would go to the airport, if it should happen, like if it happened that time that there was an accident on the road and you only had those 2, like 1 lane in each direction, it basically meant, you know, everything was blocked. So I basically experienced a few times when we came out there, I thought I was going to miss my plane, and basically no, the plane's still here. But they already called us and said there was the accident on the road, so of course we hold back the plane and waited for everybody to get a chance to get out to the airport. So while we are driving here, I'm just going to sum you up the price options, and we're also gonna display it in the video so it's clear, and we're gonna add it to the website. Absolute cheapest option to go to Split from the airport was the city bus using the Promet Split app, €1.5 to get in there, but only suitable if you travel without luggage or have minimal luggage, because there's no storage there, and those buses are always very, very full because all local people traveling between Trogir, Split, or in between areas in Castella use these local buses. Next cheapest option, if you're traveling as one person, is the shuttle we are in now, €8 for a one-way ticket, adult ticket. After that, the third cheapest option would be either a transfer and Uber. Why either? Because it depends on how busy it is out there. Some days the transfer would be cheaper. Other days the Uber might be cheaper, because Uber, I mean, if you're used to the system with Uber, Bolt and these sharing, is that the prices vary all the time depending on demand. So if you are unlucky, it can be very expensive. Transfer is a safe bet, you know before exactly what you're gonna pay, and you will have a driver waiting for you as soon as you exit the luggage area. So that's kind of one of my favorites. The last option is, of course, taking a regular taxi. That one, I think the price on the sign we saw at the airport was, it said somewhere between 50 to 55 euro from Split to Split Airport. And now we are actually in a city, the last city before Split, which is called Solin. Not sure if you checked our channel, but Solin is also quite interesting. You have out here the old Roman city Salona, which used to have 60,000 people living there when it was at its peak. So go to our channel if you want to check out things you can see around Split. We have lots of videos about that. So and now when we are traveling is outside of the season, so there's no fixed schedule. Basically, the departure of the shuttle is basically in connection with when the planes are landing. So if there's delays, you know, the shuttle will still be there when you get out, as I mentioned earlier. But maybe also some good information after June, as soon as you start getting into the really busy season. There between 8 in the morning and 8 in the evening, there's going to be a departure every half hour. So really, you know, no matter when you walk out of the building out there, there's going to be a shuttle ready to take you to Split. And if you're on planes which arrive after 8 p.m. in the evening, there will still be a shuttle. here is the city bus station. This is the end of the two of the lines which goes from the airport. They will basically end up here. So also if you need to go in the other direction, this would be the place where you will have to go and grab the bus. And from here, it is walking distance from the center, but it's nowhere near as close as where we're gonna end up, which you will see later. So in front of us, you basically now see the really center of Split, the Riva, or the main promenade. If you're on holiday here, you'll definitely spend time in that area, I can guarantee you that. And of course you see the ferry port, or the port in front of us. So the port here, this pier we are passing now, is where you take ferries to Var, to Bol, these kind of popular places, fast ferries. A little bit further down here, the Ferme ferry terminal is mainly car ferries. And you see we already passed the bus station on the left side, so we're just gonna go in a roundabout up here, and then we are basically at our end station. The trip took us exactly 30 minutes. So basically now we arrived at the Split bus station. I hope you enjoyed the video and figured out how you are going to travel from Split to Split Airport. We definitely gave you all the options, so now the choice is up to you. Stay tuned for our next video. That was basically it. Thank you.